Okay, morning folks. In your red books, please can you get this Walt and date down? I forgot to write English there, so if you could write the English before the word Walt, that'd be great. Understand the features of a newspaper report, Wednesday the 20th of January 2021. Pause the video if you need some more time to get that done. Please can you make sure also that you are writing these in the red book, you are doing them in blue pen if you can. I understand not everyone has a blue pen on them, but in blue pen if you can. Lots of people are handing theirs in digitally. I'd much rather you handed me in a photograph of a written copy, okay? So, we've already had a look at the story of the Three Little Pigs. We've had to think about how we might write a newspaper report on it using bias. That means, is our newspaper report going to be totally the pigs are really hard done by? Or is it going to be, maybe we're going to write a newspaper report in favour, sympathising for the wolf. Or maybe we're going to try and write a balanced, an equal part, showing both sides of the story. We're going to start writing that tomorrow, but today we're going to have a look at the features. I've shared this slideshow with you. So if I'm going too fast, you can either pause or you can go through the slides in your own right. I'm going to give you 6 subheadings now, and I'd like you to copy them out, please, in your book, just so that you have access to them. So if you need to pause the video now, pause it and get the first 3 down. They're not very long, but you do need them. You need quick access to them in your book when you're writing. The reason being is that when I mark these, I need to be able to see evidence that you've included all 6 of these features. Okay, here are the first 3. A headline. We're going to look at this in more detail a bit later on today. Usually only 4 or 5 words. It tries to attract the interest of the reader by telling them what the story is about in a short and interesting way. So in 5 words, can you entice your audience to read, and can you briefly say what the story is going to be about? Byline, dead easy, who wrote the article. So it could be, for example, shock as Mr. Dobson's computer fails to start up. Byline. By Mr. Dobson. Or whatever. The first paragraph in newspapers, the first paragraph is what's called the introduction, and it will set the scene and summarise the main points of the article. And it answers these questions: who, what, when, why. It's basically a really, really condensed version of the entire story. So, in Mr. Dobson's computer fails to start up, you could say, Mr. Dobson woke up on Wednesday morning to discover that his computer wouldn't turn on despite it being plugged in. Who? Mr. Dobson. What? Computer didn't start up. When? Wednesday morning. Where? Well, in his office. Okay. The second 3 is the body. This is the main bit of writing. It provides more detail about the event. In particular, it answers the questions how and why. So in the next body of my text, I'm going to be talking about how my computer didn't start up because power wasn't getting to it even though it was plugged in, and it turns out that there was a problem with the on switch. Why it happened, well, in the middle of the night, a vampire broke in, and because it was really dark and he wasn't a very good vampire, he accidentally knocked my computer off the desk onto the floor. And it was so embarrassed, he ran away. I don't know why he used vampire then. What a strange example. Quotes. It says sometimes here, but I want everyone to include an example in your newspaper articles. Sometimes articles will include what a person, like an eyewitness or an expert, has said. These will be in speech marks, so we've been practicing speech marks. So, for example, Mr. Dobson's girlfriend Magda said, I don't know why he doesn't lock his computer up. He's always leaving it right by the window. Something like that. The vampire later said, I didn't break in. I was let in. They invited me. It wasn't my fault. Mr. Dobson later remarked, it's okay. I fixed the computer and everything's fine. And then we need a photograph and a caption. Obviously, you're going to do your best at drawing one. Newspaper photographs and captions, they're very, very, very specifically geared towards what's gone on. So there'd be a photograph of me maybe looking cross at my computer, and then a caption that's just a tiny bit of writing under the photograph explaining what it is. Mr. Dobson with his broken computer yesterday morning, or something like that. Okay, so again, if you need some time to get those written in your book, they're the first ones. Pause if you need to write those down. And they're the second 3. So 6 in total. What I'd like you to do now is to go through I think I put 3 in. There's 3 newspaper articles in this slideshow, and I just want you to go through and see if you can spot in each one the headline, the byline, the introduction, the body, the quotes, and any photographs and captions. See if you can spot all 6 in the next 3. I'll leave you to do that. If you want to pause the video and do that on your own first, could you please go ahead and do it? And then unpause the video when you finished it, and we'll talk through it together. Okay, so this is the first one. Remember, we're looking out for these 6 things. Does it have a catchy headline? Yes. Lucky lottery winners win again. That's really great. I love that. There's alliteration in that twice. Look, lucky lottery winners win. Brilliant. Really catchy. You know what it's about. It's about someone who's won the lottery twice, by the sounds of it. Does it have a byline? Does it say who it's by? Yep. Reported by Susan Sharp, media correspondent, Port Vale. Love it. Does it have an introduction? Yep, here it goes. An incredibly lucky couple have been celebrating this week after winning £800,000 on the lottery. Their second big win in just 4 years. So that's basically the entire story condensed down into one introduction. Does it have the main body? Yes, it does. It's got the rest of the writing here, going into more details and answering the questions when and why. Sorry, yeah, was it when and why? How and why, sorry. And can we see any quotes? Let's have a look. There's loads of quotes here. We never believed it could happen again, Aisha commented on the experience. I never knew my granddad could move like that. Okay, so it's got loads of quotes. There's loads of examples there. And does it have a photograph and a caption? Yeah, photograph and then the caption here, which says, William and Betty Mills are the luckiest couple. Are they the luckiest couple in the country? Ooh, that's kind of a rhetorical question. I like that. Okay, the next one. Does it have a good headline? Metal Man, captured by young boy. Yeah, definitely. Love that. Here's the caption with the photograph. Yesterday, the Iron Man was captured by a local farmer's boy, Hogarth Jones, who lured him into a large trap at the bottom of the hill next to the village. Okay, that's the entire story written in just one very, very, very condensed sentence. Love it. And then you've got the body. There we go. I can see loads of examples of quotes going on there. And like we said before, the photograph. Oh, I forgot about the byline. The byline this time is reported by H. Ronaldson. That's at the bottom. I don't think it matters really. It's up to you. Notice as well, in both of them, the newspapers are written in columns like that. It's not written like this. It's written in separate columns. I think we should give that a go as well. I think that looks really nice. Oh, as does this one. Okay, last one. Roman coin surprise for Mrs. Ship. Reported by Owen Butcher. There we go. And again, it has the whole story in one short, sharp introduction. 9 Roman coins have been discovered in the Somerset garden of school teacher Mrs. Ship and are now to be put on a public display. Oh, it's in Somerset. That's nice. Nice and local. Love it. And then it's got the body, and I'm sure there are... There we go. I can see loads of quotes going on here. And a photograph. The treasure was discovered in a garden in Somerset. So there's the photograph and just a little brief summary of it. Okay, let's have a quick look at headlines then. This, in a way, is the most fun part. In a way, this is the most fun. There we go, it's focused. And we're using the word here, tell and sell. Remember, newspapers are something that people buy. Even if you're looking at them online, the more people who look at it, the more ad money the newspaper company gets. So the newspaper desperately wants you to read their newspaper articles. And the way they do that is by making the headline tell and sell. So tell means tell the reader what's going on. And sell means making you really want to read about it. So tell, what's the story about? Sell, you really want to read this article. Okay, and that's what it just says there. They do it on TV as well. When you see the BBC News starting, for example, it goes ding, ding. Tonight on the BBC News, we hear about the story of a Year 6 teacher in Midsomer Norton whose computer would not turn on. It's not written down, but it's still a headline. Okay. Yeah, so to make you stay watching the TV news and you don't turn over. Later on in the programme, hedgehogs. Are they actually really dangerous? That's going to make you think, oh, I don't know, I kind of want to watch that now. Okay, so that kind of works. Okay, this is what I want you to do now for the rest of the lesson. I'll go through these slides quite quickly, but this is your task. You've got to. Firstly, you need to read these 5 examples and come up with a really good newspaper headline. Okay, so a boy finds a stash of gold Roman coins in the local park. Okay, could you write a headline for that? For example, boy discovers gold coins. I don't know. You can come up with something better. I'm going to think about that one. I'm sure I could come up with something better. A girl from your local area is chosen to be the Team G&B gymnastics team at the 2020 Olympics, which is obviously now the 2021 Olympics, or it might be the 2022 Olympics. So you could say... I always like the idea of puns. We'll go to those in a minute. And then work through the other 3. Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you something about puns now. Puns are like a play on words. Like a play on words. So think about the words that you could use in your headline. Do they have a double meaning? I'll give you some examples in a moment, but they're normally found in tabloid newspapers. I don't know if you know this already, but there are 2 different kinds of newspapers. There's a tabloid newspaper and a broadsheet newspaper. Tabloid newspapers have usually got quite funny, quite witty, very clever, short headlines. And then the writing isn't very long. There isn't usually that much writing. And then loads and loads and loads of pictures. In a broadsheet, the headline is still catchy, but it's a bit more serious. They're very rarely funny or clever. It's just to the point. And there's usually much, much, much more writing, much, much more detail about the story, and much less pictures. It's not so much the case anymore, but in the old days, tabloid papers used to be quite small and broadsheet papers used to be huge. Examples of tabloid papers are The Sun, The Daily Mirror, ones like that, and the classic broadsheet newspapers are The Guardian or The Times or The Telegraph. Okay. But we're going to have a look at puns. So, I love this. Soda ban goes flat. Okay, so what could that be about? Soda ban goes flat. And I love it because it's like soda, which is another word for a fizzy drink. Flat means when the fizz goes out of it, but it's like a double meaning, isn't it? Marks and Sparks. Okay, so that could probably be about the supermarket Marks and Spencer's, but maybe it's about Marks and Spencer's catching fire or something, or Marks and Sparks. That's really good. I love that one. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. So that might be something about Celtic football team doing really, really badly. I don't know who Callie is. Maybe Callie's like a good football player. Or maybe Callie's the manager and he's going ballistic because Celtic did so badly. Supercali, go ballistic, Celtic are atrocious. That's just a really nice play on words. I love it. Boy, what a sunrise. Okay, I have no idea what that one could be about. Let's have a look. So, can you match these newspaper headlines up with what's going on? A man who was struck by lightning was saved by Marks and Spencer's slippers. Ah, that's the Marks and Sparks one. Clever. Meghan Markle gives birth to a baby, Archie, at 5:26 a.m. Ah, there we go. Boy, what a sun, like sun. Sun, okay. Boy, what a sunrise. But they've not spelt sunrise as in the sun, the big ball of flame. They spelt sun as in son and daughter. Boy, what a sunrise, because he was born at 5:26 when the sun comes up. Oh, that's really clever. A ban on fizzy drinks was cancelled the day before it was due to start. Oh, so soda ban goes flat, as in it never got started. It was flat, and also as a play on the word flat. Ah, okay. Inverness Caledonian, which is a football team in Scotland, which must have the nickname Cali. Inverness Caledonian Thistle beat Celtic in a shock 3-1 Scottish Cup win. Okay, so Super Cali, go ballistic, Celtic are atrocious, which is like from Mary Poppins. Oh, I love that. That's great. There we go. Now the answers. Okay. Here are some more headlines. Utterly devastated. You reckon that's probably about an otter. Brave and bold, but spelt like, instead of bold as in how you would describe a person to be bold, is bold as in the cricket term. Someone's been bold, so that's probably about cricket, that one. Band and band. So band as in cancelled and band as in rock band. So bands. Oh, that's really good. So clearly like a rock band have been banned. The band have been banned. Really nice. Okay. Band. And it's also alliteration. Utterly marvellous. See? Utterly. Oh, I missed it. Utterly marvellous. Utterly marvellous. So that's clearly about a cow or milk or something like that. Stocking up at Christmas. That's a play on words, isn't it? Because stocking is something you put up to put your presents in at Christmas. But also stocking up means to get lots of food in. So stocking up at Christmas. Double meaning on that one. Really nice. Here we mow again. Here we mow again. Instead of here we go again, here we mow again. So that's clearly something about mowing the garden. Okay, brilliant. All I'm interested in this one really is this one. I'd like you to write your own fantastic headline for the newspaper article you're going to start tomorrow about the story of the Three Little Pigs. So what's your headline going to be? Remember, make it fantastic. So well, I'm gonna think of some, and let's share some ideas. I'm gonna think of some. I'm gonna look at some of my work from last year as well, some of the kids from last year. I'm sure there's some really good ones you can think about. How could you make a headline about the Three Little Pigs, the wolf? I'm thinking of maybe something to do with the wolf huffing and puffing, or boiled alive. There we go. The big bad wolf boiled a lie. So instead of boiled alive, I've said boiled a lie, which makes it sound like he's cooked up this really elaborate lie. Brilliant. Well done, Mr. Dobson. Okay, in the meeting tomorrow at 12 o'clock, let's go through some good examples. Come up with 5 or 6 if you can come up with more. Brilliant. Do as many as you can, but try and go for at least 5 and 6. You won't see this. I'm going to delete this bit because you don't need to do that. And then we'll see who's got the best headlines. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. It's going to be great.